E aí, pessoal, beleza? Vamos continuar aqui com o desastre que foi a nossa... o nosso jogo do bêbado, beleza? Eu vou ligar pra delegacia, cara, e perguntar se eu sou um desses malucos aí que... é supostamente criminoso. Vamos fazer essas missões antes da gente... continuar, né? Porque vai que dá mais uma merda, enfim. Cara, aquele episódio passado me chocou, mano. Caramba. É uma pena que eu tenha feito cagada, né? Eu não completei a história do jogo direito. Não completei a história direito, não, né? Não completei a merda do... como é que é o nome? Não fiz as side missions na ordem, né? Antes de fazer aquela... antes de ser preso pela história.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Vou ligar pro distrito 57.
Something is wrong. Only set, no reply.
Ninguém responde.
It's been this way for a while now. My guess is the Union is listening in on our conversations and jamming out what. It only happens when someone mentions the attack. The rest is unaffected. Our best bet is to carry on like nothing happened. That is, if we no more dangerous than stepping between 3 armed mercenaries and 8 Union men, I hope. I don't like it either,
okay,
but that's the way it is. The street seems safe enough to me. If anything, taking out the mercs made things calmer. For now. You can try calling again. Just don't mention the tribune.
Everything sounds okay.
Beleza.
No drop in the cabin. You see.
Tá, seguinte.
This is Precinct 57. How
Eu
may
vou
I
me conectar
assist
com
you?
41, que é o meu. Eu acho. E vou perguntar sobre eu mesmo. Estou feliz em informar que encontrei meu distintivo.
10-4, sir. Glad to hear that.
Tá bom.
I'll write down that there is no need to issue a new one to you then. Over.
Ouvi dizer que algumas pessoas pensam que eu sou peão do La Puta Madre.
10-4, sir. Well, there's been some talk, sir.
Caramba, rumores. O que há?
I only meant that there's been some talk in the station, that's all. But there's always some talk in the station. You know how officers in Jamrock are. But then again, some of us truly are on the take.
Caramba.
It's unfortunate. Over.
Vou falar que perdi minha arma, né?
10-4, I know I already wrote it in a report, but it will stay on my desk for a few days.
Beleza, vou encerrar aqui.
Roger that, 10-10, over and out.
Bom, Ai, cara. Pelo menos a gente assumiu que perdeu a arma, né? Deixa eu ver se eu tenho até um save aqui. Carregar o jogo. Eu tenho esse quick save aqui antes de entrar no cano. Esse é o cano do prédio. Ah, tem um autosave aqui também. Tem esse aqui no dia 16, que é um dia antes. 2 dias antes. Eu vou voltar uns saves depois. Quando eu zerar esse jogo. E vou ver se eu faço aquele tiroteio de maneira diferente. Como é que eu faço pra pegar o barco da mulher? É só clicar no barco? Ah, é só clicar no barco. Vamos lá, vamos direto pra ilha.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror. The boat's belly is a shiny yellow color, industrial paint over fresh tar. You see it reflect off the water, along with the factory number. SRV made. This machine represents humanitarian aid from a workers' state on the Samaran Isola. The ROO logo on that, once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trip. Have you made all the necessary preparations?
Bora.
Closed all your account? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
Essa coisa velha... Não vou falar. Você assume o motor. Kim, vou segurar o boombox.
What?
De que outro modo conseguiríamos estrondar o triste FM no nosso caminho até a ilha? Você me ouviu, não me faça repetir.
Fine, why not?
Very cool.
Sintonize na triste FM.
Sad FM is a radio station
Tá barrado,
specializing
mano.
in sad, slow rock songs. You seem to know its frequency by heart.
Essa coisa velha e danificada é um ROO.
It'll float.
Vai flutuar. Ah, beleza. Vambora, Kim. Vambora, então. Cara, vamos perder tempo, não. Vamos finalizar esse jogo, mano. Olha...
Comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off.
Beleza.
Then, There's silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance. There is very little wind here today. The ghost is standing still. You look at your arms, then the cliffs above you. Let's go.
Vambora, mano. Let's go, man. Será que a gente zera nesse vídeo, jogo? Vambora. Uma ponte improvisada. Vamos dar uma olhada aqui embaixo, vai. Pneus. Vamos adicionar ponto? Tem como adicionar ponto ainda? Tem. Cara, a gente tem interação. Tem coisas que a gente precisaria adicionar ponto, que a gente não botou. Conceitualização. Trama. Eita, pera aí, o que tem aqui? Escadas colapsaram, não vou nem tentar pisar ali. Livros, ficção, história, louça suja, ó, uma roupa, uma camisa dando coordenação motora. Você vê velas em um telêmetro. Caramba, tô catando tudo aqui. Tem uma cama aqui.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracol blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
Quão recentemente?
A flash of pain interrupts you, making you wince instead of letting the words out.
É verdade, eu tô machucado, né?
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
Cara, eu descanso ou não? Tá, eu vou dormir, vai.
You face the
Eu vou
concrete
descansar,
wall.
por que não,
There's
vai?
less light there, in the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there.
Enrole-se com seus joelhos próximos ao seu peito.
The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass. Half an hour maybe. The sounds of the sea beyond grow distant. Your eyelids close until you feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening. Sleep.
Caramba, cadê o Kim? Ih, mano, será que o Kim vazou? Putz, eu não mexi em nada. Eu pensei que fosse ser só um troço rápido. Que merda, cara. Ah, que pariu, não mexi em nada. Eu devia ter mexido nas coisas antes de deitar. Ai, filho da puta. Vambora. Cadê a porta pra sair daqui? Vai, e aí? Ah, tem como descer. Vai do tenente, mano. Desça até a corrente, tem alguma coisa lá. Que isso, mano? Que isso?
To last day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship airbag in her hand. She seems to be in a hurry. Okay, don't say you need to talk right away. Melt the ice first. This way you're already talking.
Ei,
Hey,
como você tem passado?
I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry?
Caramba, eu não ando muito bem.
Well, don't say that. I know this positive thing sounds stupid to you, Harry, but it works. We all have an obligation to be happy. You too. And you will be. Now,
Onde você tá indo?
I'm going to Morova. To live there, in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime.
O que tem na mala?
Just my scepter, my globe cruciger, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel documents, the crown of immortality.
Coroa da imortalidade?
Oh, this. This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity. Look, I have to be at the Lausanne aerodrome at 10:20 p.m. I still have a light rail to catch. I haven't even bought the tickets yet.
Eu deveria ter ido mais fundo para um lugar onde eu nunca...
Your feet still tremble from the steps you took, as if over an enormous distance, standing against her. Her body close to you, radiating warm. With your eyes closed, you move your lips on her mouth. She is not kissing you back.
Você não está me beijando de volta. Termine.
The moment is ending. She is going to move her face away from yours. And you held on to her hand. She tried not to look at your face. Brother, you should put me in front of a firing squad. I have no words for how I failed you.
Ok, é isso então, foda-se.
No, Harry. Not yet. There is one more thing you have to see.
O quê?
I'm pregnant.
Quê? Não é meu. Engula.
You know what this means.
Ele é meu?
Of course not.
Ah, tá.
I terminated yours.
Caramba.
Don't you remember? You poor fuck. Poverty-stricken fuck.
Caramba.
Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions. Let's talk about something else.
Mas você disse que eu tenho uma alma imensa e que você sempre retornaria para ela.
We both said a lot of things. We were very young.
It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender, long fingers, in her
one of the things we have already talked about. Talk about it again. If
Não
you do
vá.
not feel like doing that, then you should let me go to the aerodrome.
Aê, levantei. Eu não devia ter dormido não, mano. Me fez mal dormir.
You're up quick. How was your sleep?
Meu sono foi profundo. Na verdade foi aniquilação total. Vamos botar um pente fino na ilha inteira.
Okay.
Beleza. É isso aí, parceiro. Vambora. Vamos ver o que tem aqui nesses livros.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized.
Examine-os.
Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures. Popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife. Widely read by people from all walks of life. Who doesn't like nature? Who doesn't want to survive? Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Caramba.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Nossa. Alguma coisa sobressai. Será que eu consigo passar nisso aqui? Vamos ver. Clothes. Drama. Drama. Não. 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 Beleza, uma... Não. Caramba, mano. Cadê? Opa. Uma camisa. Cara. Vambora tentar aqui.
Soft covers, serialized
42,
fantasy
heróica.
and detective stories.
Tem ponto pra colocar? Não.
A magazine for electrical engineering
Vambora.
and an international
Vai falhar, mas vambora.
Also, light erotica. Not that you can
Ah.
tell. This is a digest of someone who's dead bored. Most of it is for entertainment purposes. Fittingly, right next
Beleza,
to it,
certo.
you do feel there's something you're not. The print in some of these is pretty small though.
Beleza, tchau.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
O que significa um gerador aqui?
I don't know. I'm not a philosopher.
Hã?
That is his idea of a joke.
É uma piada, mano. Eu sou... Este gerador prova que o universo é material. Não. Não diga nada.
The wind outside picks up suddenly.
Para onde a
with a
fiação
faint howl.
conduz?
Downstairs, somewhere?
Que tipo de gerador é esse?
Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout.
Ok.
The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter. Long.
If anyone's stayed here,
Dá um
they'd
tapa na
need
lateral.
a hollow ring. The canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo
Despejo
lift.
de combustível no tanque.
The lieutenant assists you.
Ah, o
holding the
combustível que eu
canister up
guardei.
to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse
Okay.
before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
Tá, mas a gente ligou isso pra... Ah, a gente ligou aqui, beleza. Putz, o galão de combustível que a gente guardou desde o começo do jogo funcionou, então. É pra cá agora ou é pra cá? Vamos dar uma olhada aqui primeiro. Escotilha. Escotilha emperrada.
Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
Corra seus dedos pelo teclado.
The keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades.
Ok.
The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here.
Poder este painel abrir a porta a porta estanque?
I think, yes. Let's see. That one. The emergency open.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks.
Ah,
A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
caramba.
After you.
E se nós metemos em outra luta?
Don't worry. I have a gun.
Ok, eu não tenho uma.
Extra good that I do.
Ai, meu Deus do céu. Vambora. E se eu desse uma olhada aqui? Tipo, no sonho a gente veio aqui fora, mas agora acordado. Vamos dar uma olhada. Ver se tem alguma coisa pra esse lado. Antes de ir pra aquele lado lá.
10. The doomed commercial area.
À esquerda.
A towering skyscraper. Its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Gislain, 33A and 33B.
E entre os dois.
The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. You see a small fleck of white on the rooftop. The upstairs window of Clausia's room. In the rain, reflecting light.
Eu posso não estar 100% certo, mas... Foi daqui
What?
mesmo.
Do you have a line of sight to the window?
Foi aqui mesmo, cara.
What are you talking about? Can't be certain. It's certain.
Eu posso ver até o telhado.
I can see it. Through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone, lying on the mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Cheek against the cheek rest. Hand on the hair trigger. On a calm day like this.
E eu poderia acertar.
Good. I think we have it, detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
É, veio daqui.
Affirmative.
Antes, tarde... Por que não viemos aqui antes?
Why? We don't go everywhere in the 1,000-meter radius of the crime scene. That's not procedure.
Nós poderíamos ter evitado isso.
Don't beat yourself up, officer. We did not put guns in their hands or get them drunk.
Ok.
We will make up for it. Here. I feel it.
Acho que o atirador tá aqui com certeza.
Where?
Na ilha.
He does not answer. Just nods. With his back hunched, he looks around once more.
We should move now.
Beleza. Vambora. Caramba, mano. Caramba, gasolina, pegamos. Então a gente descobriu de onde veio o tiro. Nossa, meu mouse tá fudido, hein? O mouse tá muito ruim. Caramba! Caralho! Encontrar o caminho da passagem secreta. Passagem secreta. Se é secreta, como é que eu vou encontrar? Vamos colocar mais um ponto em... Nossa, o meu mouse tá muito ruim, cara. Vamos colocar ponto aqui. Pra ver se a gente já consegue ler o livrinho lá. Ai, ai. Ô, louco. Tinha remédio embaixo da madeira aqui. Vambora.
Soft covers, serialized,
Vamos lá.
fantastic, and detective stories. Still nothing.
Falhou de novo. Maravilha, hein? Vambora. Será que a gente vai encontrar o assassino? Será que não? Será que não? Ou será que não? Pequenas flores. Pote de borracha. As crianças devem vir pra cá nesse pote aí, mano. Ih! Ih!
An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp.
Catarata? Isso é o cara do fogo?
The what now? I can't hear you.
Você mandou crianças apagarem uma fogueira?
I may have.
Ah, foi ele.
All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position.
The position sounds like a hiding place.
Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
Você manteve sua visão.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
Você fechou a porta estanque?
I did. And you opened it. How?
Eu abasteci o gerador.
I should have burned that console down.
Como sabia que eu tava vindo?
Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the winter.
A música que eu vim tocando no barco que ele ouviu.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
Ah, mano. Mas você não falou isso, Ki. Ah, mano.
I did.
Falou?
We have entered a world where he said you shouldn't. It is the only
Ok.
world.
Não era reacionária, era maneira.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music.
Você tem uma bela arma aí.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Essa é uma bela grave.
It's a 3-Angong 446.
Southeast Samarin made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
Beleza.
It has to stay true to him. He can still make it sing.
A comuna e Sinhal.
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from the board.
He's right. Almost no one remembers there was a third metastasis of the world revolution in the Safre Empire, extinguished in 06.
Não tá apagado. Não está apagado o quadro, eu me lembro.
They wouldn't like hearing their name in your mouth.
Eita.
Damn dog.
Sim, eu preciso que você abaixe a arma. Não vou pedir pra ele abaixar a arma. Vou falar pra ele que ele pode ficar com a arma.
No.
Eita, mano! Eita, Kim!
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me.
Que
To hell
isso?
with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
Ah,
He stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness, like a song.
o que você disse?
The future teaches you to be alone.
The present.
O presente.
The present to be afraid and cold.
Ele puxa o capuz de capa plástica, olha para o céu, está cinza azulado, a mesma cor do mar. Caramba, que profundo. Vamos lá. Essas palavras, futuro te ensina.
Real music. Real projet cult. That's la Revacholière, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites.
Marching song. Forget about that for a moment. You need to address that remark first.
Eu não sou misantropo, eu sou oficial da polícia meio morto que só tá fazendo seu trabalho. Eu conheço Leva, foda-se, é a canção da revolução.
There you go. 1 of 3. In Grad, they sang Brave Children, favorites of history. And in Sinyao, it was some Samaran shit, I guess.
Como é a canção? Perguntar pra ele.
How did it go?
Ele não vai saber, tá muito velho.
Something about shooting rabbits. I don't know. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It's gone now.
He waves erratically with his hand, annoyed that he can't remember. A little tremor passes through him.
Essas palavras, pegue a arma caída na areia.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places.
Inspecione de
with tape and
perto.
wire. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burned into the wood. Triangong, 4.46 mm, made in Sinyao.
Esse usa munição encamisada 4.6.
Jacketed, military-grade ammunition. Stable in flight. Good for hitting something that's very...
Caramba,
very
mano.
away.
Será que foi ele? É como ele disse, é uma não sei que. Sei que lá que eu não vou ler.
Personalized even. Looks like this weapon has seen a lot of use, hasn't it, sir?
No response from the old man. The plastic cape around his shoulders rustles in a small bout of wind.
Guarde a arma.
The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. Some kind of involuntary response? Something is slightly off with his motorics. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession in time.
Quem é você?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol.
Caramba!
I am a desertor, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and
Caramba.
resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
43 anos que o cara tá aqui.
No. I've been on other islands too.
Ah,
I was an resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
caramba, você desertou de sua unidade?
I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
Lapso de fé.
You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took for reaction to take hold.
O que é reação?
Petty bourgeois terror.
Ah,
It's in all men.
não foi reação, eu só tava com medo.
It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked.
And this was... when?
He is still not convinced of his safety. You should not be either.
May the 13th, 08. 44 years ago.
Caramba.
The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic.
Magia negra?
The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower. Huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
A terrible shame, still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
Você não foi para a sala de mapas?
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland. In the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened at the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
Airships, multi-rotored airships, used
Aerostatics. The landing had started. I climbed out into hell. There were ships all above, hissing, whirling, and men pouring out. The chain was submerged, so I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Viu o quê?
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know that the bourgeois are not.
Caramba, mano. Velho comunista. Tá bom. Isso é o suficiente.
The old man
Já dá
does
pra
not
saber
say
que o
more.
velho ficou aqui muito
Those
tempo.
black eyes of his keep piercing you as he looks to some great distance and shakes his head slowly.
Como você sobreviveu por
retreating from
todo
it.
esse tempo?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
Ah, ele rouba.
Now hold on there.
Essa é uma escolha. Você poderia ter se tornado autônomo, criar um sistema. O que você rouba?
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
He does seem frail, gaunt for his age, more like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
Caramba.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
Nós temos droamina.
I have been running out of that stuff.
Essa é uma situação séria que precisa ser examinada.
There's nothing to look over.
O velho quer morrer, mano.
The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund.
Como você lidou mentalmente?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of... I don't even know what. Inferno?
Eu também tenho buracos no meu.
No wonder. All your minds are rotting from the radio waves. I watched the traitors of this city turn the lights back on. More and more each year. Ruins glittering in the dark. Like a... It's disgusting.
Como escondeu todos esses anos?
It was hard in the tens. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequencies dead. At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
Ele fuma cigarro?
I do.
Ah, então o cigarro é dele. Já fumou no continente?
They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
O esconderijo de Saint-Ghislain, aquele lá que a gente encontrou as armas.
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Belma Graves.
Estavam muito danificadas.
I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded.
Caramba.
Some had bullets in the chain.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
Por que você não simplesmente entra caminhando lá?
I don't want to. They're all traitors.
Ok.
Pigs, rabbits, and dogs.
Há
Men
pequeno
without
abrigo.
ideals are only animals.
Há pequeno abrigo sobre o prédio Feld.
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Caramba.
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
Me diga outra coisa.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
Que lugar é esse?
It's not an island, Dwight. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol.
Entendido. Você diz que essa é sua rendição.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
Nós impomos a lei. Não, a gente não impõe a lei, a gente se fode. Eu tenho plano. Não. Nós estamos tentando ajudar as pessoas.
You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste d'Insolande.
Caramba.
Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth
Cara,
on the black charcoal in the fire pit.
que velho foda, mano. Ficou aqui esse tempo. Você ficou aqui por 43 anos?
43 years and 10 months.
Caralho. Isso é insano.
It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady.
Always waiting
Caramba.
for her to return.
Retorno de quem?
Her who?
Girl child, revolution.
A cidade é um barril de pólvora. Eu já vi isso. O capital é muito poderoso, os ricos são bem organizados. Eu vim de lá, ponte para o continente. Eu posso te garantir que isso não é o que as pessoas estão planejando.
I am not a fool. I know. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind. The historic opportunity for our revolution has
Então você é um
passed.
soldado comunista do
It will
exército
not
comunista.
come back anymore.
Cara,
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
entendi.
Like
Será
you
que esse velho
belong
que
to the
atirou?
moralist party. There's nothing serious in this world.
Para que você andou usando
It's
essa
a
arma?
farce. I've used it for killing people.
Ih,
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. But
cara, será que foi ele?
this is what you live for. The great serotonin. The solution.
Eita, recuperei a coisa ali, ó.
Go in straight. No euphemism. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
Eu sei que você quer me dizer, você matou alguém com essa arma há 2 semanas?
I don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque murderer.
Ô, louco!
And why did you think that was a good idea? Don't
Você-
listen to me. I'm wrong all the time.
Você usou essa arma pra atirar e matar um coronel?
The who now?
He heard you. He just
Ah,
wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in.
um soldado do Esquadrão da Morte fascista que tomou uma bala na boca.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
foi tu, velho?
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
Meu Deus do céu.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
O tiro veio da ilha, cara. O que eu tô esquecendo?
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
O que tem a ver o lírio?
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here.
Ah,
They're revolutionary symbols from the war. Nowhere else, nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them this spring.
haviam lírios do vale atrás da janela da vítima.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them. So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
Uma jovem chamada Cledge, sua familiar,
Class J.
Class G.
He knows her.
Ele
but
conhece.
hadn't heard the name.
Você não tinha escutado o nome dela. Você a conhece, não é? Ela tinha relações íntimas com a vítima, o mercenário.
With the victim.
Ih, caramba.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile. Yet isn't quite
O
voluntary.
tiro veio daqui,
He's
velho.
about to burst.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dres. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
I'm ready to die.
Caramba, mano.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part. Just one thing remains unclear. The rifle does not seem to have a scope.
Onde tá a mira telescópica?
Forget about your stupid fucking scope. I don't
Ah,
know
meu
where it
Deus.
is.
Porra,
Find it
velho.
yourself. It's your problem now.
He lost it. He just doesn't know where it is. Forget it. Push on.
A visão é perfeita, como o par de binóculo poderia ter visto dentro do quarto.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain.
Eu não preciso da sua cooperação, eu tenho isso. Ele riu.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your musketeer pistols. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you've got...
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen.
E ele viu tudo, ele viu o conflito todo do tiro.
He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. It's not just empty boasting.
Vou admitir.
Imbecile.
Certo, vamos recuar por um tempo, diga-me.
You're lost, Dwight. You're lost.
Cara, não vai... Vamos tentar composto. Isso vai falhar.
Petty bourgeois law. This
A drop of blood in this. That's right.
Ah, beleza, volta.
You're lost,
Tá, compostura.
ain't.
Vamos ver se a gente tem itens aqui que dão compostura. Eu não quero falhar nesse diálogo, não. Eu vou falhar com certeza, mas... a gente tenta mesmo assim, nunca se sabe. Eita porra, a bota da compostura. Cadê? Não tem outros, mano. Coordenação motora. Caramba, não tem outros. Tem que extrair uma confissão dele, mano. Vambora, vamos ver se dá.
Millions of capital.
58, será que dá?
What do you want?
For a 60-year-old man with stomach
Nossa,
trouble,
cara.
who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit. He's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished.
Ah,
But
cara.
that's it. You can see no more by looking at his slouched frame.
Vou prender ele, mas eu queria uma confissão dele.
Officer, are we sure? We could maybe get more.
Cara, mais uma coisa.
The old man
Ele não
looks
fala.
at his rifle in your hands, a little startled for
Vou
some
prender
reason.
ele.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
The sum of all the erratic movements, fidgeting and mood
Ih,
swings
o velho ficou louco.
The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But
Kim, ele tá com medo.
no, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
Não, você
He's sweating.
tem que
We
ser
took
preso,
four
velho.
before him.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
Percepção, audição. Será que funciona?
You thought you
Mano,
heard
fale em
something,
tudo!
but it's just the reeds.
Porra!
Maybe we could all fit in there.
Ele tem espaço pra 3?
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here. But
Beleza.
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
Quem vai vigiá-lo?
you come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
Caramba.
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
Pede a pescadora.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now.
Você poderia voltar pra buscar quando tiver levado a distrito. Eu poderia voltar pra te buscar. Cara, nós todos caberíamos.
Actually, no.
Ah, mano. Ah. Deixa o Kim.
No, no. It would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
Ah, meu Deus. Tá bom, Kim.
This world. What are you talking about? Is this?
The wind is cold from the east. Your skin is crawling suddenly.
Beleza, mano. É isso. Falou.